And Ford plans to boost production by 26% to meet rising demands due to cash for clunkers. But what is GM's strategy for production increases after emerging from bankruptcy barely a month ago? This morning, our Greg Miles spoke to General Motors CEO Fritz Henderson to see what he has in store for his company.
That's right, Mark. By the way, we've lost our feed with Jerry York, the advisor to Kerkorian. But one major issue related to General Motors in the industry is U.S. automakers' historic propensity to way overproduce, flood the market with vehicles, and then they have to slash prices to sell those vehicles. Now, Fritz Henderson told me in an interview today that they do plan to increase production in the third and fourth quarter, and he said that their inventories are in very good shape. Let's listen to what Fritz Henderson had to say.
We're adding production into the schedules now. We'll be well up in the third quarter versus the second, and we'll be up in the fourth quarter over the third. So, I mean, we're adjusting as well our production schedules. We'll have more specificity around that here in a week or two.
So the bottom line is you plan to increase production, but you can't say right now by how much.
Well, yeah, we're finalizing that actually. We had a session on it yesterday. We know exactly what we want to do. We just want to put the details, put a bow around it. But as I look at the situation today, our inventories are in excellent shape. Demand certainly not only just from cash for clunkers, but we've seen credit begin to be restored in the within the auto space. You've seen used car prices high, residual values are strong. There are some leading indicators that usually flash green when the industry at least hits bottom and starts to get some traction and recovery.
How about this? You know, Ford's saying today that they think the cash for clunkers program, that $2 billion, is going to only last for 3 weeks. Does this warrant maybe the U.S. government saying we should allocate more than this $2 billion down the road?
It's most such programs around the globe. First of all, we're very grateful for the program and appreciative of it. It's been very, very successful. Most such programs around the globe tend to focus on time rather than dollars appropriated. Okay, this program has been done on dollars, and we'll just have to see how long it goes.
Okay, I want to ask you a quick question, then we'll go to a break, Fritz, and come back. But this new lithium-ion plant that you're going to make batteries at in Pennsylvania, it's going to be the first one operated by a U.S. automaker. You have about 20 seconds. Just tell me quickly why that's so important.
Greg, we're going to do it in Brownstown Township, Michigan. You mentioned Pennsylvania, so we're here. No problem. What's really important is this is a part of the engine of an electric vehicle. The cells obviously come from a supplier, but the integration of those cells into modules into packs, and then the packs into the vehicle, is something that we think we need to control as a vehicle manufacturer.
Of course, Henderson also told me that auto demand in Asia is picking up dramatically, especially in China, which is really their largest foreign market by far. But he also pointed out that all of the divisions, all the geographic regions of General Motors have to become profitable, not just Asia, for the company to survive long term. Back to you, folks.
Bloomberg's Greg Miles. Greg, thanks.
And let's continue our talk with Jerry York. He is advisor to billionaire Kirk Kerkorian. Greg, I'll send it back over to you.
That's right. We finally have the feedback with Jerry York from our Southfield, Michigan Bloomberg offices. Jerry, welcome back to us.
Thanks, Greg.
You know, Kirk Kerkorian and you bought into Ford shares last year and then ended up selling out because of Kirk Kerkorian's personal own financial situation. But this stock is now up 244% thus far this year. CEO Alan Mulally has made a number of positive moves. Is Ford the real deal? Is the gap between Ford, which isn't getting government aid, as big as it looks between them and Chrysler and GM, which are getting aid?
Frankly, I think it is. I think that Ford, under the leadership of Alan Mulally, has accomplished a whole lot over the 3 years since Alan joined the company.
Are they out of the woods?
I don't think any car company can say it's out of the woods when industry volume is where it is right now.
Now, this stock now is $7.50, $8 a share, trading in that range. Would you look at a stock like this, a huge run-up as an investor? Does that kind of make you nervous?
No, I think the fundamentals are there, underlying the valuation.
In other words, you think there's not enough underlying strength in their restructuring, both on the sales and the bottom line side, that it can maintain further stock appreciation?
Well, you know, it's always hard to tell what any given stock is going to do for any given 6-month period, let's say. But look, Ford has tremendous momentum. And the unfortunate reality is they also have 2 wounded competitors. You know, there's only 3 ways you can gain market share. 1, you can out-innovate your competitors. 2, you can increase customer satisfaction, or you can have wounded competitors. And that's what's going on here.
You mentioned one wounded competitor, General Motors, and you talked about Ed Whitaker, the new chairman of the board who helped build up AT&T through acquisitions. Is there a chance you think Whitaker, with his background, we might see General Motors sold or merged off down the road to fix General Motors?
I'm sorry, say that again.
In other words, could we see General Motors actually sold or merged with somebody over the next few years?
Well, I think it's possible, but, you know, you'd have to look at the landscape in the industry and ask yourself who would want to do that. Okay.
Chrysler. You were the chief financial officer of Chrysler, helped revive it in the 1990s. Now Sergio Marchionne is there from Fiat. What are the odds of them of turning it around? You gave it 50-50 to GM. What are the odds for Chrysler?
Well, I'd have to say they're less. I mean, the 2 mega issues at Chrysler, first of all, there's a huge cash hole between now and the time that Chrysler starts getting better product from its own internal sources and a flow of Fiat small cars into U.S. showrooms. No one knows how big that cash hole is going to be, and frankly, I think if that cash hole is too big, Chrysler's not going to get any more money from anybody. Then the second issue becomes how many Fiat-platformed vehicles sold under the various Chrysler brands in the United States will consumers really want to buy. And no one knows what that number is.
We have 15 seconds, Jerry. So they shouldn't go public anytime soon?
Well, again, to me, that's you know, that's a 4th level issue, is you know, doing an IPO in these companies.
Okay. Jerry, we're going to leave it there. I want to thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Greg.
There you have it, Jerry York, advisor to Kerkorian, giving a 50-50 odds of a General Motors revival, less than 50-50 odds for Chrysler. Very optimistic about Ford. Back to you, folks.
And, Greg, thank you. As we know, he's got a good track record with those predictions, Mr. York.